Welcome back on our Team Canada driver presentation. I'm still with Ben Cooper, our team captain. In senior class, we will have 3 drivers. First, we'll speak about our Canadian champion, Adam Ali. He's from Ontario.
Yeah, so I've obviously paid attention to the two brothers, Adam and Daniel, throughout the last few years, because they've been one of the top running drivers in the Briggs junior categories, now in Rotax senior, and the different senior categories in Canada. So I've seen their progress come along very well with Kevin Monteith and the team he runs there. It's been very good because he's actually got 3 drivers qualified in the senior category, which is saying something, because the senior category tends to be one of the most hardest categories to qualify in. So I'm very excited to see Daniel and Adam at the World Finals. Actually had a meeting with them a few days ago about how to approach that event and how to, not freak out too much when they arrive and see the big tents and all the teams and stuff like that there.
And all the cars, the 400 cars aligned.
Exactly, because it's sometimes it can take, for us now, we've seen it so many times, we don't necessarily appreciate it as much, but it can take your breath away, and especially for the drivers, it just adds that pressure on top of you. I think in terms of speed for Adam and Daniel, they should be solid, top 15 runners if everything goes well. One of the things I said to them when we spoke the other day was, look at themselves before they look at anything else, because that tends to be a very easy excuse to start blaming karts and engines. We know over the last few years, Rotax have put a huge effort in making sure the parity of the engines come down to being almost identical, which I genuinely believe that is the case. So yeah, if they work together as brothers, as teammates, along with Callum Baxter and Griffin Dowler as well, with the 4 Rotax seniors, then we should be able to be running in the final for sure.
Yeah. Especially speaking about Griffin Dowler, it's going to be his 2nd time at the grand final. So the stress of the big event will be behind him now.
Yep.
So I think that it's going to be the real time for him to just focus on racing and be his best.
Yeah, exactly. He's had that shock factor out of the way of arriving at the World Finals for the first time, so he knows what to expect. I've seen him drive recently here in Canada and down in the US, and he's really improved on his race approach, staying out of trouble and making sure he's just always there finishing the races, and that's part of the key of the World Finals. You can't really afford to have one bad heat. So if he goes through the weekend at the World Finals like he did recently in Vegas, where he doesn't have a crash, just pops in good solid results, he should be making the final. And then once you're in the final, anything can happen.
Oh yes. We have also Callum Baxter. Callum raced in junior this year, but wasn't eligible to race junior at the grand final. So he received tickets to race in e-racing, the electric karts. But because of the pandemic, some countries had to send back their tickets for the grand final because they cannot travel. So we have been able to get senior tickets for Callum and race there. He was super happy when he learned that. So you had the chance to speak with him recently.
Yeah, exactly. So I spoke with him just with the Ali brothers a few days ago. I actually spoke with Callum last year before the event got cancelled because he'd qualified for the Rotax Junior. Callum's been one of the best drivers in Canada for many years. He's won pretty much all the Briggs categories, national championships, and was right at the front in junior Rotax this year. Junior to senior, nothing changing. Slightly faster in senior. The tyres a little bit grippier, which I don't think would be an issue for him because he's used to racing, the softer tyres on the Briggs categories. He'll be fast, that's for sure. He's got that ability in him. He's got that natural talent of being fast. His weakness, and I think everyone knows at the minute, is maybe his racecraft, aggressiveness that he needs to work on at the event. Just like we spoke about the other day. Controlled aggression, nothing outrageous. But one thing that's going to be beneficial on his side is he'll be fast. And when you're fast, you've got half the job done for you.
Yeah, especially in qualifying where it is so important at this event. Now we have the DD2 drivers. We have 3 drivers. We have Noel Dollar from Alberta. We have Luca Pernaut from Quebec, and we have Gianluca Savadio from Ontario, which is our Canadian champion.
Yep. Yeah, so obviously I've seen all 3 of those race. Noel, last time at the World Finals, we saw him there. And obviously Luca Pernod is part of my academy here and races with us, and Gianluca was actually racing against him at the World with Luca to try and get the ticket for the World Finals at the Nationals. So I've seen those two very much this year. I'm encouraged with the DD2. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure. The DD2 category has got harder and harder. The strength of that category has become just as strong as senior over the last few years, so it's not going to be easy. But with those two drivers and the experience, obviously, with Noel already doing that event, a bit like his brother, he doesn't have the stress of that shock factor, like I said, of arriving at the event and seeing all the new karts and the tents and so on. That's going to bring a bit of experience to the other two. I know Gianluca is going to be, he's a hustler, he's going to be out there, he's going to be racing hard and he'll be fast. Luca, I know, has got the ability to be super fast as well. Just if we can put the whole weekend together, that's another story, but that comes down to them and their mental approach, just like we spoke about with the Mini Max and the Micro Max. It's 80% in their head rather than on the track.
Yeah, and Niall knows now what it is to be there.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor. That's helped a lot. We see drivers going back to the grand final. They have a different approach. They have a different thinking, and I'm sure that's going to help him a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
DD2 Masters, we have Rob Kozakowski from Alberta, and we have back on track Pierre-Luc Ouellet.
Yep. Yeah, so obviously everyone knows Pierre-Luc from the past.
Won.
Yeah, twice a world champion in DD2. I think 2007 and 2011 in Alain.
Yep.
So in the Middle East, we're going back to the Middle East. And if not many people know the story about Pierre-Luc, just over a year or so ago, he pretty much lost his leg in a boating accident. And basically, the doctors said he needed to amputate his leg. And it was him that said no. And it's kind of gives you goosebumps thinking about it. He said no, and when he spoke to the doctor and the specialist, he said, I'm going to go through therapy, I'm going to get myself walking again, and I'm going to go and qualify to the World Championships, and I'm going to go win the World Championships, and when I do, I'm going to bring the trophy back to them to show them that this is why you don't amputate my leg. So hopefully that's the case. He's going to be fast. It's Pierre-Luc Ouellet. He's a two-time world champion. I've been on track with him this year. He's driven the DD2 races this year. He's just as fast as he always was.
And there are only 36 drivers.
Exactly. So there's no stress about not making the final. Even if something have a mechanical issue or whatever the case may be in the heats, he's going to be there in the final no matter what. One thing I have said to him is that the level of DD2 Masters has gone up a lot. If back in the past there was 2 or 3 drivers that could win Magado and stuff like that, but recently there's been close to 10 drivers that can win the World Finals. So it's not going to be as easy as people make out, but we are talking about Pierre-Luc Ouellet here.
It's funny now because we see drivers coming to the Masters class when they race before in the junior class at the Grand Finals. So this is what happened when you have an event like this with this 20th edition. Rob Kozakowski, we don't know him a lot because he's from Alberta, but we saw him at the National in Tremblant also. Yeah,
exactly, and he was very competitive in the field there. He's going to have the super advantage of having Pierre-Luc as a teammate. You can have all that data to work off, and Pierre-Luc's just like me, wants to help everybody. He's going to kind of be my assistant captain to the team with helping everybody out there with Pierre-Luc. So, with Rob, he's going to have a lot of support from Pierre-Luc there, and myself, obviously. And again, 36 drivers. He's making the final no matter what. So anything can happen. We'll see what his speed's like when we're there. Judging off of how it was at Tremblant, we should be running in the top 15, that's for sure.
Thank you, Ben. So the event will be broadcast on the web. Follow Max Challenge Canada website and Facebook, and you will have all the information, and you'll be able, if you're an early bird, to watch live the races and follow Team Canada. Thank you.
Thanks.